He's on different teams. There's a lot of different factors here. But I think that the mid lane is the big tilter.
All right, well, mid lane, the big tilter, and then, of course, with both teams picking up some new guys into the roster, it's how well do they gel. Those are the guys. The two things, rather, we're going to watch for in this one. Lulu banned away from Take Fun and Libic. Jax dropped away from Babunia. Kuban is going to be filling in as the top laner, though, for Lublin Shore. We knew Kuban and Jokies were both on the roster. Yep. Kuban is the one who's filling in for here. Kuban has been around for a while with these guys. They had been using Jokies for a while recently and so far in Challenger, but Kuban, if you guys don't remember, is a big carry-type top laner. Jax, Aurelia, Ryze, these types of champions.
Their styles are very similar.
Yeah.
So replacing Babunia with Kuban's isn't that big of a deal. If the synergy is there, Kuban's a very great player.
Yeah.
Like you said, he can carry from the top lane too. So that's just another thing here that we'll have to keep an eye on.
All right, so Lulu, LeBlanc, yeah. Replacing Jokies with Kuban, we're good. Babunia's already over there, we're going to be happy.
They're all carry top laners, so in my mind I'm like, oh, these are the carry top laners of the Challenger scene.
And they're all chilling on the same teams.
Yeah.
Just intermingling as Polish players. We're going to move on through, though. Kale, Jax also the drop away. I wonder, like, Perm's really not losing many champs from his pool. He's banning a lot of the typical mid laners away from Take Fun, but also, yeah, I like the fact they're banning Twitch away from Mockler as well, as he's a player who can take over games. And you remove the sort of most sought-after carry marksman.
Yeah, and then they might first pick Lucian for themselves since they banned away the Twitch. When you do that, you don't want to leave it open for the other team, but they actually leave Kassadin open here. And Perm, everybody plays Kassadin.
Yeah.
If it's open, we'll have to see.
Here's the weird thing about this, though, is, right, if you're not a typical mid laner, and especially because Kassadin's getting banned a lot in general, you don't get a lot of time to practice new Kassadin if you don't know his actual damage values. Like, you generally fight kind of instinctively. Like, I know this will bring him to 10%. I know I can all-in him here. And unless you get enough games under your belt to know those values really well, especially if you're subbing in for the role, there's a chance we're going to see some cast misplays.
Yeah, that's very, very likely here. And then eventually, obviously, we see Lublin Shore pick up the remaining hyper carry, AD carry right now, or hyper bully. I'll put it that way. Because he scales into the late game based on how much he kept you down in the early game. So no Twitch on the field. Lucian taken off now. It's going to put Kobe possibly onto Vayne. He plays a lot of Vayne, and they might go for a late game team composition here. Or just go Kate and try to go even with mid lane.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up picking on this one. Right now, Elise will get locked up there or moved away from Kikis' champion pool. No jungle bans to speak of, but Elise was the grab. The Graves pickup is going to be interesting if that is what's hovered here, meaning Denial going to take their time to look for their top lane champion, hoping to look for a counter pick as opposed to like rushing a Shyvana or something. Take Fun having to play Orianna, great early laner, could maybe keep down the Kassadin. And Lee Sin, so no, Lublin Shore says, we will counter pick top lane.
Yeah, those very, very quick picks coming in here. The Orianna does well against Kassadin. You have both auto attack harass, clockwork windup. You don't have to worry about the null sphere and the shield. Go ahead and harass him down. Also, when you do get towards the end game, though, Kassadin can kind of bully you around and burst your team down.
Yep.
You catch him out one time, he's gone.
Yes. We'll see if we can find those. Now, right now, Denial have to make their last few choices. Their top lane must be picked. Lee Sin could go top or jungle. We'll see if Lublin Shore moves that one around. Hovering on the Graves, Sona bot lane is a very strong lane, and actually, that's the kind of lane where either of those duos can win. If you get the early push lead, you can get poke from behind your minion line, and it works generally pretty well. So that's to me is a skill matchup down here, so we'll have to see how they play it out. The hover on Mundo as well, going to be blind picked, with really very few top lane bans going through, but okay, this is
okay.
Wow. He took his time on that one, but the Karma does come through. So more of a pokey lane. Now this actually gives less of a fallback pattern to Denial. If they take some damage, they can't regen it back very quickly, so one hook could turn that lane. But Karma is good in general against Thresh.
Karma can regen some of it with the renewal using Mantra and her W.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good heal, though.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you tether, it'll heal you, and then the duration of the tether will also heal you for another large portion.
Sitting in lane at half health is pretty rough regardless. Because it's a missing health heal, it's not exactly useful until you're low.
Yeah.
So it does still become rough, but yeah, the big thing I've heard people talk about is whenever you see Thresh go for hook, just throw an empowered Q at him and hope you dodge the hook in the first place, but you get some guaranteed damage trade that way. Looking right now with Mundo top lane, it's a free license to play a carry top laner against him. The hover on Aurelia for Kuban makes a lot of sense, so I like that a whole bunch if they can grab this.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he has to fall back on now. Jax is gone. Kale, we saw it in top lane, so there's some top lane Yasuo players out there. He could go with a Shyvana, but he is going to go with the Aurelia here and just play that because it's very popular in Europe. It's not something you see too much in NA. It's definitely an EU baby.
Yeah, I mean, of course Aurelia is the European top lane. That's going to be fine. I love the champion. And honestly, to me, when you have the chance to pick a carry type in a lane, if you can get away with it, you should, right? It's like, if you know you can get away with playing Twitch, you should try to get away with it. If you can get away with playing Kog'Maw, you should do it. If it's too scary of a lane, then don't go for it. Don't risk your lane. But with having a free license to lane by fighting a Mundo, I like going for Aurelia here.
Yeah, it'll allow him to scale and get to that point where Aurelia has 2 items and Mundo is just getting tanky. We'll TP into the fights and Aurelia can go ahead and dive your back line and get to the Graves, get to whoever you need.
And keep in mind, there's not a lot of peel here for Denial, actually. Karma's okay. She's kind of mediocre at it. Like, Cassid's not going to help anyone out. Mundo's going to be running and playing interference in the front line. Elise typically is more of an initiating force. And even you add on top of that, the Graves passing his armor and MR, which Aurelia will cut through with true damage, there is a really good chance that Kuban can take over this game from the top lane.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We can see Kuban, though, he can get assistance from Aurelia, and that'll just even snowball. I mean, sorry, from Orianna. They both end with
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. We read backwards here in casting, if you didn't know. We use mirrors.
Alphabetical backwards.
Yes.
So Orianna can go ahead and slap the ball on her, put it on Kuban, and then he can go ahead and dive in with the Blade Surge, and then go ahead and set up that ball delivery system.
That's true. You actually have a couple of...
point and click.
Yeah, it's actually a lot easier for Aurelia than it is for Lee Sin. You have a couple of sort of mediocre divers that you can put the ball on top of and turn it into a real teamfight engage. So we'll see how much Denial gets cut out in this one and how much Lublin Shore can make the moves. But we are into the game. Quarterfinal best of 3 here. Denial and Lublin Shore. XMYM if you don't recognize the names.
There's no exhaust here for Lublin Shore on any of their members. Takefun has the Ignite, so he's looking for some lane kill pressure against Perm in the early game, and Perm has the exhaust to possibly counter the dive from Kuban in the late game. Another thing here is that they have a pink ward for Denial, so they're looking for an invade here, because it's very easy for Elise to just take that ward at level 1. They do have a sweeper on Super Ace, so that ward is not going to last.
I like this choice. I'm really glad teams are starting to open up sweeper on their opening buys. I think it is the right choice there. It's going to allow them to make a nice early invade. It's going to remove a lot of the vision. Of course, Lublin Shore could still trinket the rest of the invade path.
Mockler's all the way at their red. So he's just sitting in Denial's jungle right now.
Yeah, he's going to wait to put the trinket down until he gets the most vision kind of possible. Right, the later you put the trinket down, the longer it lasts, and you don't have to put it down yet. There we go. Puts it on the red buff. 1 minute 15, so they will guarantee they know if the red buff is the start.
Which doesn't look like the plan for Denial right now.
No.
They'd had to book it there right now.
That is kind of an odd trinket placement. I suppose they lost vision of Denial for a while, so he's like, if they recalled, how long would they come? How long would it take till they get here? Denial do get some early aggressive wards down in the lane, though, to try to spot the lane assignments of Lublin Shore to see who goes top lane. At what point will they try to defend? At what point will they defend to dive?
Yeah, so Denial is actually going to put their bottom lane top. I was thinking about it. I'm like, there's no way they could get down there in time and then have even in level. They've missed experience. You're going to miss the first couple of creeps because of the level 1 that they attempted. So they're just going to lane swap it.
And they're going to know right now that Kuban has been sent to the top lane, so they can try to play around that. Kikis is going to be taking the safe jungle route. He's jungling by his own duo lane. Similar situation there for Uzi. Now, Elise is actually going for her own red buff, despite having a numbers disadvantage there. There's a chance Denial gets to play a 3-buff game, or there's a skirmish right here in this bottom jungle.
We see Kikis is actually coming straight for this red. It's actually going to be gone.
There's no smite.
Oh, no, there's no smite.
Kikis missed the Q, though. He doesn't know about this yet. How quick till the Q comes in.
Execute right there.
Gets it. And this actually means Denial's going to get a 3-buff start, most likely, because they've got the dual lane up there to defend and guarantee that red buff.
Well, actually, Uzi just smited that last lizard creep. So he's not going to have smite in time for the red.
I don't know if he needs it, though, is the thing.
If they get enough dominance over it because they have their bottom lane in the top lane and they just outnumber them there, then it's possible, but the smite steal from Kikis is still a worry.
The thing is, this is strange because, Kobe and Super Rays, they're not even going to try to contest this red buff there.
It's not happening.
Kikis gets it anyway. That is surprising to me. I think Denial could have easily taken this red buff.
I think especially if they didn't use the smite there and they just had put themselves and poised themselves up for it. But instead they have something else in mind. They want to go ahead and get damage on the turret, move Uzi up to the top lane, and have him be here. But they see this coming from Lublin Shore, and Libic is on his way top.
Nice moves by both squads, and 3-man top on both these teams, actually.
Yep, gonna see the spider there.
Yeah, and Kuban level 2 right here. I believe he got Cannon Minion XP, but and he misses the key right there. So he's got no Blade Surge now for the rest of this wave, which is going to make him lose a number of CS that he wouldn't otherwise miss.
Yeah, and now, the fact that Libic is up there, he's able to go ahead and share some of that with the Relic Shield and the extra CS there. We do see that Babunya is having an easier time because he's just CSing against an AD carry.
Yeah. The interesting thing we have right now, though, is we've got very different lane setups. Because on one side, you've got Denial running this duo lane top, and it's the normal duo lane. Graves, Karma, super pokey, pretty defensive as well, right? Like Graves can dash away, Karma can shield, whatnot. By the way, guys, if you don't know, we're paused. We'll get back into the game in a little bit. We've got the super defensive 2-on-2. It's like, it's good aggressive and it's good. It's pretty good defensively. It's a good brawling comp. But you're fighting Aurelia and Thresh. This early on, Aurelia is not a good fighter. Graves would beat Aurelia in a one-on-one lane at this stage of the game. Like, this is a bad matchup for Lublin Shore in that top lane. Whereas in the bottom lane, it's like Mundo versus Lucian. And at least with cleavers in his regen, you'll survive it. You won't thrive, you won't push him out, but like Mundo's going to have a way better time than Aurelia will in this kind of situation. Like, you're going to have like actual turret pushing available for Denial. You're not going to really have that for Lublin Shore. This lane setup right here favors blue team.
Yeah, it definitely does because of the Karma and the Graves top against an Aurelia and a Thresh now. Thresh actually has less experience coming into that, so Libic is a little under-leveled. He doesn't have as many options available to him. He's just there for moral support to save Aurelia if he gets into trouble, just to allow him to CS, because Aurelia is extremely item-dependent.
Yeah.
We're talking about how Graves could basically solo her at this point, very move speed and attack speed dependent with her kit for hit 10 style.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's going to be, you know, a really difficult thing to look at, whereas at least Dr. Mundo, like, if you're level 18 with no items, you're still fairly strong as Mundo. He has no offensive item scaling, aside from Sunfire Cape, and so as long as he just gets tanky by leveling up, he'll be happy. So we are back into this game, of course, level 3 and level 3 versus 3 and 2. Small lead in Denial's top lane. We watch this mid lane, and Perm, I gotta say, is excelling right now as Cassid and keeping up completely in minions, despite getting ostensibly counterpicked and being new to the role.
Yeah, and he also has a ton of mana because of the W, and we also see that Uzi's off on the side. Not a lot of escape options here. Nope. Just decides to walk away. No Cocoon even attempted to throw out there because Kikis.
Ooh, nice damage right there. Forces the repel away. He's going to be safe, but at least some damage comes through.
Yeah. People don't always value how much just a jungle gank for damage is, because now you can go ahead and go into the jungle and be like, this is mine now.
Yeah.
I'm going to ward it up. Even if I found you here, I would be able to fight you.
Yes.
So I'm going to take some of your creeps, I'm going to counter jungle you, and I'm just going to be overall happier and ahead.
Yeah, Lee Sin is one of the best brawling junglers in the game. Arguably the best in 1v1s right there. Kuban keeps him CS up, but keep in mind, right, even if they did battle, you've got the attack speed slow from Lee Sin hurting the Spiderlings. Well, look at this positioning.
Right out of it.
Just outside of range of this. Now, they could assume he went bottom jungle, but I think there's no kill pressure here. Mockler can't really set this up. But
Libic is back here, too.
Now they got the chance.
Level 2 still. Libic is 2 levels down. There we go. He just leveled up over Super Ace.
Problem is his lane is frozen right here, so there's really, like, they can deny golden XP, which they would do with the support regardless. But there's no, like, Lee Sin being here isn't a threat until the push is down. Yeah, I don't know how much kick he's going to get here. He'll get some damage down, but Babunya should be able to run away from this one.
Running? Mundo doesn't know about running.
Goes where he pleases.
Uzi walks up, smites the creep. Just like, counter jungled me. Done with it.
All right, now, there we go, yep.
It's all about reinforcing and matching the pressure of the other team when they send somebody there. We saw Libic was sent to the bottom lane. Uzi's here to answer, but they're outnumbered in this lane up against the top lane, which is a little bit against Aurelia.
Okay, so 3-on-2, some damage going down onto the turret right now. Babunya and Uzi doing what they can. Good CS so far by the Mundo, keeping him in a decent spot. This turret at 2/3 HP, and keep in mind that top lane is still a 2-on-1 the entire time. And you know Aurelia's going to hate that one. You can see 35 to 27 in minions between those two top laners, and his turret's going to be going down. There's that matchup.
Yeah, turret's going to go down fairly shortly. Thing here is Lublin Shore hasn't made a move for Dragon at all, which is the little advantage, little caveat they got here is that they got Dragon positioning and control from having these numbers down bottom. If they get Babunya...
Oh, the big damage comes through. The attacks on in the Ignite. Last tick doesn't kill him. Turret goes down to the top lane, but nothing else picked up for it. Wow.
Babunya extremely low. Mockler took some tower shots there. Kikis looked like he was going to tank it, but no, the heal was blown in the bottom lane alongside the Ignite. And now Babunya, he has TP, so he can get back down here in time for this wave.
Take his time. You know, let Uzi get it. Save the teleport.
Doesn't matter. He just wants to get the experience over. It's completely fine.
The thing is, right here, Denial could actually make a play for a Dragon, send Mundo top, and play that game with the teleport. Yes, Libic is trying to set up control right now. Yeah, he's got the BF sword for himself, but the same, sorry, on Mockler. But the same can be done for Kobe right here, and they could play on that side of the map. So it's interesting. These teams have very different setups. A late teleport for Mundo finally goes top, but now that's on cooldown, and he can't use it for a Dragon fight.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, is that Mockler got to back, like you said, he has the BF sword over Kobe, who has to back now. He'll pick up the BF sword for himself, then have to trek his way over to the Dragon. But there's tons of pink wards on Lublin Shore. So they are going to contest this Dragon very shortly.
Yeah, we'll see if they play for it. Now, if Lublin Shore is paying attention, they do know that the teleport was burned by Babunya. I'm not sure they're going to realize that, though, in this case, because he was off the map long enough he could have easily walked to that turret. And unless you're hovering on top of that turret and watching the teleport come in, you don't know about it. So maybe they won't have that timing. We'll see. Kikis is playing inside the enemy jungle. Of course, the timer there on the red buff. He wants to fight against Uzi for this. Trinket comes down, and we're going to see how much support is here. Both top laners chilling up there. Standard lanes now. Looks now like it's still just these two guys battling. He sees it.
He can see it.
Oh, wow. The Q!
Oh, so close. Didn't get it.
Man. That was real close right there. But Kikis will get away. Does not get the red buff steal. And off he goes.
Very good presence of mind there by Uzi to know the fog of war. Just barely pulls it out.
That was excellent. That was definitely excellent right there. So good stuff by these guys. You're going to see a 700 gold lead for Denial, largely because of their turret kill early on. The fake Lantern gank by Libic does force Denial away for a short time. Doesn't deny any CS right there, though. Graves just got those two.
It's very good, because last time they saw Kikis, it was on the bottom side of the jungle. So they could feign the Lantern gank, and it could be believable. And we talked about Perm being unfamiliar to the mid-roll, but right now, going even in CS against an Orianna as Kassadin, he's not slumping in this early game. It means that Kassadin, as he approaches that late game, is going to be even more potent at the right times.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be a pretty scary dude. He's completely kept up, which is just everything you need. Right now in team fights, you'd feel pretty good if you're take fun.
Yeah, and another thing, too, is if a Dragon fight doesn't happen soon, Denial may start running away with this game, because early Dragon fight is where Lublin Shore is going to excel with their team composition here. Because they have the Orianna, they have the ball delivery, you can get it into the back before Kassadin has the long Rift Walk cooldown, before Kassadin ramps up. But now they're just going to go for some picks here for Lublin and maybe get the Dragon off it if it's successful.
Okay, well, here's the first attempted gank here by Kikis now that we've got standard 2-on-2 lanes. Libic looking for a chance at Hook. Of course, Niall's not giving him one. The Lantern gank would be available. Hook does not land. Kikis will be forced to back away. The wave does reach the turret, though, meaning maybe they're going to rotate around, maybe go towards Dragon right here. They've got the pink ward, and actually Elise is on the top side and spotted. Lublin Shore can take this Dragon.
And that is definitely the right move there. You want these early Dragons because they fall into Kassadin's hands. It's even worse because he just does so much with that early gold to boost him into that mid-late game.
It looks like the team's trying to turn back for this one. You're going to see Carmen move on the way over. Elise realizes there's no gank available. Maybe just going to go counter jungle. Looks like no one is going to stop this. Dragon does get picked up. Nicely played Lublin Shore. Reacting to what's on the map.
Puts him 200 gold behind still, though, because of that turret in the top lane that was taken by Denial, and the fact that they have a little bit of a CS lead in the top.
Massively top lane. Yeah, it's 50% above. That's great. Babunya looking to make this dive happen. They're up against Aurelia. Going to dive back towards these minions and try to kite around. Lands a stun. Big damage on towards Babunya. Can he get enough damage? Flashing away now. Elise forced to repel out of this one. Nice escape. They're only burning his flash to get away.
But the cocoon did not land there. It was a little wide by Uzi, but now they're being collapsed on. Take Fun. He's very fast, and they're very low.
Well, actually, Mundo got a lot of health back with some potions there, so there's really nothing for Take Fun to find. Have to go back around.
Doesn't get anything from him. But Perm.
Is he going to go for this?
He's got the Kassadin sense. Oh!
He's going to spot him. There's the shield. Slow comes in. Good Shockwave deals damage, but Perm's got the magic damage shield. Take Fun, half HP. Shockwave is down, but here comes Elise. Repel's going to land. Big damage comes through. Flashes. Does not land the cocoon. Uzi a little bit impatient with that one, and Orianna gets out. Bottom lane turret goes down to that 2-on-2. Big burst comes out. Nice flash by Mockler keeps him safe.
Off to the side there. Just barely dodging it. Has some shrapnel in his shoulder.
Ooh, slow the flash. Cleaver, Take Fun does not have any escapes. They will chase this one down. First blood goes to Babunia. The teleport in from Aurelia, and Kuban's got nothing to find here.
0 for 3 on the cocoons by Uzi, but a great pickup there for first blood going over to Babunia.
And now the question is, what can Denial get off that kill? Top lane, bottom lane turrets have already died in their basic lane matchups. Mid lane looks like they're not trying to push that because of Kuban being around, so it's just a kill and nothing else for this one. Their advantages have largely come from just their lane matchups.
Yeah, and I talked to their manager in Denial previously, and he said that even though they have Perm in the mid lane, they think that in just individual skill across the board and synergy, that their 4 members will outdo Lublin Shore, and they'll try to make plays off of that. But Lublin, if they make a pick onto Uzi here,
what the?
That's a spider sense
right
there.
That is straight Spidey sense.
He looked like he wanted to go there. He's like, oh, nope, nope.
Like,
sorry.
Hold on, guys.
My people need me. The white is calling me.
That was awesome.
He goes straight over to his blue buff. The timer's working in his favor there.
Yeah.
Saved his life. Keep timers. They'll save you.
Oh, Super A's didn't see this. Lublin Shore now on the backside. Good flash keeps him safe, but this is a 4-on-2 under the turret. No teleport for Dr. Mundo. There's not many minions left on this push, though. They're not going to dive this, actually.
Uh-oh, Kobe might be in trouble here. There's the Inspire.
Kicks him into the wall. Good damage comes through. There's the Flay on in. The box lands onto Kobe. Burst comes in. They pick up Karma. They will pick up Graves as well. 2 for 0 so far. Perm, not going to be able to do much now. 5 men in the bot lane. I don't see this being defended.
OGN TSM rotations coming out there for Lublin Shore.
Yeah.
Going to go straight for this turret. Boost themselves into a gold lead if they do take it.
They're so afraid of taking the turret down. It's a 4-on-2. And they refuse to kill the turret. That's some gusto by Perm to even show up there and be like, yeah, you're not going to kill me?
He's casting with Flash and Riftwalk. Felt comfortable, he felt safe. Now they're going to go for it.
Okay.
A safe play. Uzi didn't get picked off in the jungle, but their bottom lane does, and it's going to be a reward of a turret.
And that's going to put the gold right back to equal down 19,000 apiece. Nice little bit of CC comes in casting, but the Lantern shows the way for Moxley. He's going to see the light and get out. And now we're going to reset on this game. A couple turrets down on both sides. Take Fun.
And you can see Kick is 2 levels behind right now. He wasn't farming the jungle. He was trying to make some plays and roam with his team. That the fact that his blue and red are still up when both of Denials are down and currently ticking.
Ooh, okay, Kickus does at least get experience on that Golem kill. He's nearly there to the way to level 8. Uzi tried counter-juggling, could not quite do so. But here we go back in the map. No one in the top lane right now. It's going to be Kuban heading over. Of course, top lane outer still available if Lublin Shore wants to go for it. That might be a target of opportunity soon. Problem is, Take Fun has yet to bully Perm out of the lane, so they don't really have their mid lane unlocked. That's kind of a problem.
Need to start getting him to roam around and make some plays. It's even here across the board. But right now, Lublin Shore, they're starting to hit those power spikes. As soon as Kuban finishes his Trinity Force, they're going to want to fight. Might be in time for Dragon.
It's a minute 20 seconds away, and he was just back in base. I don't see how he could pick up 1,400 gold.
Yeah, the boots and the Dorans.
Now, he's 7 minutes away.
Delaying it, yeah. He's a little far away from that.
It's going to be after 20 minutes.
So it's in favor of Denial currently.
Yeah, it is.
Because of Babunia's Sunfire Cape already completed, and the fact that Rod of Ages is now stacking up on Perm.
Absolutely. And even on top of that, Babunia's teleport will be up in time for Dragon.
It's funny, because in the early game, Lublin Shore has a little bit of an advantage, and then when it's like 5 minutes in, it's like, okay, Lublin Shore definitely has an advantage. Then you hit about 7-minute mark, you're like, okay, it's starting to go over to Denial. Then it just swaps back and forth. It teeter-totters here in terms of power spikes because of the champions that they've staggered.
Yeah.
Because Aurelia is going to get really good with items, but at the same time, Kassadin is hitting those mid-game power spikes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Kassadin's in a pretty decent spot right there. Of course, it only gets really better from here at this point because he wasn't shut down at all. Take Fun gets a one-man shock with Babunia, though, onto the turret, does not care about any of this. Nice play, keeps him safe for a short time, but not going to be enough. Nice hook is going to catch Perm. There's the Riftwalk over the wall. The culling hits a couple of shots, but here comes Aurelia. There's the jump on in. Kuban gets 300 gold for that one. He's going to love that. Dragging up in 8 seconds. 1 for 1. Mid laner's dead.
So we thought he was 7 minutes away from Trinity Force. That's going to help him out.
That brings a
just a bit.
Cuts a minute and a half off his timer.
Yeah, and now they're going to go straight for the Dragon. We're going to see it here. He's forced to use his Shockwave He only hits Perm though. Babunya positions himself up very well. The Libic with the hook. The turret aggro is still on Babunya at this point, so it doesn't swap to Perm. And good on Babunya to continue tanking it. And he gets out of range right in time and then calling for the extra damage as Uzi comes down. But now...
Well, they're going to be going for the 4v4 in this one. There's the repel up in the air. Kick is forced to flash away. Mockler exactly on the wrong side of this one. Good damage down towards Babunya, but they're going to keep trying for this one. They've got the pink ward down. Both mid laners showing up soon. Top lane's got a big minion wave going there as well for the turret. If Kuban wanted, he could TP and pressure this turret down and give up Dragon for it.
Here's the thing too, is as soon as both mid laners get there, Orianna will have Shockwave up in about 15 seconds. If they can stall that out, it's going to be an advantage for Lublin Shore.
All right, there we go, level 11. Rank 2 Shockwave now here for Orianna. Mockler shoved the bottom lane, nice move there, then comes back for the mid lane. Problem is, Denial has the inside track to shove towards mid-outer. And look at that, Denial, they're going to go right for that one. They've got the minion wave, they've got the people there as well. They're going to trade mid-outer for this Dragon. If I was Lublin Shore, I'd TP top lane right now and just take that thing down, but looks like they're not going to be able to defend too much. Their Lantern comes in, recalls come out. That's definitely going to be mid lane outer going down for Denial. Now, will they keep pushing, though? There's actually not enough people defending just yet. They could keep going. They're going to stay around. Need some damage going in towards Lucian, but...
Kikis is behind right now. Just staying off on the side. He has boots and mobility. He's looking for the plays, looking for the positioning. And Kuban backs, ends up getting the Trinity Force for himself. So now they're going to want to fight. They have the Shockwave, they have the Trinity Force, they have these power spikes for themselves. And now the fact that Denial has some members backing, they can go ahead and push this mid turret down on this next wave.
That's working a lot better for him now. There we go. 18-minute Triforce after all, thanks to the 2 kills, and the Dragon picked up just enough gold for that one. So, gonna make his way now towards the top lane in the near future. They've pinged that one. They know it's gonna be pushing at some point. The siege towards the mid lane right here, of course, with these guys having cashed in, they've got that momentary lead on the map.
Yep, and they actually back off of it because they have some members backing out. Libic actually returns home. Get himself some goodies. A lot of hesitant plays here. Nobody trying to make a situation where they could possibly make a mistake.
Yeah, well, you think about how
small gains.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how these teams are set up, right? If you don't have perfect vision control, on one side you're fighting a Thresh, and you know how lethal Thresholds can be. I mean, it's literally called death sentence. On the other side, you've got Kassadin, and it's Kassadin who hasn't been held down, so he's gonna have really good catch potential.
Kassadin and Aurelia. If you make a misstep and somebody starts running away with the game, it's a bigger snowball than it normally would.
Yes, they are easy to get on you assassin bros who are going to burst out your back lines. You got to be afraid of this one for sure. Right now, Kuban is going to continue to go back to the top lane and hold up. He's still down about 25 minions on the Dr. Mundo, but because he's picked up that kill and everything else, he's less far behind than you'd expect. And so he's having an okay game. Only within 1 level, not too bad. Ward control is going for Denial on this top side of the jungle right now, though. And that is something that's going to be very important.
A lot of this gold is actually focused onto Mockler currently. He has those 2 assists, but he also has a big CS lead over his opponent. About as much as the top lane. But the top lane is more even than you would expect.
Yeah,
funneling some kills into Kuban. 100% kill participation for the Aurelia, which is a scary thought, but also 100% kill participation for the Kassadin so far. Granted, it's a low kill game, but now the teleports not being used to apply pressure on the side lanes. They're more being used for we're going to be in the fight already, and after the fight, if we win, I will teleport to an objective.
Well, right now, those objectives under fire. This blue buff right here, everyone on the Nile is around. Hook not quite going to land. Lulo still being attacked, but right now the Nile's coming in. I don't know why he stays on this one. Babunya's in there, gets dissonance. Some damage comes in from Rally, down to half HP, pops the Mundo ulti. Lucian off on the side as well. Lublin Shore looks like they will secure their blue buff. The Nile's comp not really built for a giant team fight when you're facing an Orianna, so they've got to back off of that one.
Yeah, you don't want to fight in close quarters versus an Orianna. Also, the culling could have gone down there. Aurelia would get the maximum amount from her Transcendent Blades.
Top lane, red buff though being attacked on right there. Denial, Jubraid's gonna get hooked up though, that is not good. Flashes still goes down, red buff goes over, but it's a 5v4. What can Lublin Shore pick up? Stun on a Libic. Kuban looking to go forward, goes in, looks for some CC onto Perm. Big burst comes out onto that cast, and the kick over the wall actually helps to save the Elise. Goes down towards the Golems, flashes back over. The jukes from Uzi, lands a stun, goes down to take fun though. Looks like a 2-for-0 overall for the red buff.
Kuban entered that fight. Said he was a little low on HP. I meant he was a little lower than everybody else. So he jumps in and uses his Equilibrium Strike to go ahead and get the stun, which is key for an Aurelia. Like this starts here with the catch onto Super Ace. The box comes down just so he's doomed. Flashes in and actually hits one of the walls. 2 of the walls, actually, it looked like. Goes up here. See, it gets lower. Boom, the stun comes down onto Perm, which is exactly what they needed, because now he's out of the fight completely. They don't kill him, but he's completely out.
Yeah, guarantees in the battle. That was weirdly irresponsible from Denial, though. They had a pink ward that could watch the move from blue buff to red. Super A should not have been in that location, getting himself caught out there. Slightly out of position, gets him the kill. Huh?
You would expect that move. If you are invading the red,
yeah,
you should have the ward coverage. And you do see that they eventually get it, but it doesn't work out for them. Lublin Shore, all of their red is warded right now. There's nothing in that area left.
True.
But it means that if somebody from Denial tries to make a sneaky move in there, it's going to be seen.
Sure. And here's the weird thing about Lublin Shore, right, is they're on the back foot right now. Like, yes, they're getting all the kills. Yes, they managed to get that dragon. Yes, they won that fight in their own jungle. But it shows in their ward coverage. It shows in their turret kills. They've been on the defensive for a while here. When they get kills, there's nothing to cash in for except we'll shove the waves out and recall and then try again later.
Yeah.
But with Denial always being pushed up, if they do win a fight, they're going to get a turret or 2. Whereas Lublin Shore doesn't get anything off a fight until they get the pushes, until they get the outer turrets gone.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We're looking at the way that they're set up, the way that the wards are placed, and the aggression across the map. Right, Denial, they're the ones going for the throat, and Lublin Shore's just being defensive and saying, if you miss, you're going to get cut.
Yep. Sharp throats on Lublin Shore. That's my allegory there.
It's more like you cut yourself, but yeah.
Yeah, on their throats. They got razor gills.
Okay.
They're fish.
Speaking of fish, looking for a pick. Nope.
A hook?
A hook?
You nearly had it, by the way.
No, I was going to say they're shooting fish in a barrel, but yeah.
There's Thresh in the game, dude.
No,
Come
man,
on.
I'm not you.
I know.
I'm not going to do that.
That's why I told you how to, get on my level.
I don't want to be on your level.
Or speaking of fish, they're crossing the river. All these things are available to you.
When you're going fishing, you're setting up the bait.
Yeah?
Please.
Okay, then use that one.
I don't have to spell it out for people. It's like one of those next level ones where they're like, oh, that's what he meant. Okay, we're making this. In the meantime.
Speaking of fish, they're in the jungle right now.
Yeah.
Don't worry, if you think about it, you'll get it.
Man, that really dragged on.
Mid lane now pushing in. The outer turret's going to be going down. Look at that one. Lublin Shore also claiming the dragon. So now that they've turned aggressive with their gold lead, they're wresting control of the map right now. The gold now swinging 4,000 in their favor. And look at this. Onto the red buff they go. Crashing through their own pink wards. There's Kobe. He's got to be careful with this one. They can't take this red buff here. Lublin Shore going to now grab a lot there. Kick us.
Whoa.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's where he's supposed to be. That's what happens with melee range Lee Sin Qs. Is it randomly teleports you a short distance and then puts you back? I know it's weird.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually over the wall. That's all I'm going to say.
Man, having a blissful stroll through the forest. Speaking of fish.
Well, bottle in turn now going down. Kickus. They'll be backing away from this one. Babunya going forward. Uh-oh. Got to be back out. A little bit of a fish out of water right there. Didn't want to get caught out. Nope. Not going to back off with the team. Level 13 on him. He's actually equal level to his other 2 solo lanes there. Livic has sacrificed a lot of experience moving around the map, letting Mockler farm. Interestingly enough, so.
Yeah, they've
low level Thresh.
All game.
Yeah.
It's about 20, 23 CS up over his lane opponent. Very high in the kill participation, about 80% right now. And he has the Trinity Force Lucian build, so looking to just chunk some turrets, as opposed to the build that we saw Genja use in the last game of the LCS today, where he had the Infinity Edge for the Lightslinger passive multiplication on the crits.
Yeah.
Just going for tower sieging.
Yeah, exactly. Triforce is good for very short-term bursty situations. We're only going to get like 2 attacks off or whatever. As far as actual AD carry itemization goes, like for straight DPS, Triforce is a loss. It does tons of damage in a 2-second window, just not a 20-second window.
Tons of short damage.
That's the difference, right? Is Triforce is a bursty item. You can build other ways, and that's how it works out. It's the way it is.
So in a vacuum where you're just like, oh, let's add some longevity to it.
Yeah. And of course you can't crit turrets, so again, your point still stands. That, yeah, he's really good at killing turrets with this kind of build.
And now we see Lee Sin has got his 2 items for damage. He's going to start building tanky now. He's been roaming around the map, trying to make plays here. He hasn't been as involved as a lot of his teammates. Actually, every one of his teammates has been more involved in it the fights than he has.
Yeah.
So Kikis has just been objective control, but he's still down in levels.
That's true. He's been looking for making plays, and he's got the sight stone for vision control as well, which helps.
He's roaming, but now they're going to try to make a play on the top lane, possibly come behind it, but it's good. Window. We're going to see how it works out.
No, they've probably got this. They've got complete vision control, but Babunia's got no teammates around at all. Kikis going to be there. Kick him into the wall. There we go. Big Burst comes out. The flame misses, but it's going to be fine. Makler picks up another kill. 2, 0, and 3. Libic still holds 100% kill participation, and Lublin Shore can keep moving. Graves on the wrong side of the map. They can keep going.
Libic has the hook. Doesn't go for it, instead just goes for the zone, and now they're going to start getting turrets off of it. They've completely swapped their positioning on the map from being defensive to being offensive.
You got to be careful though. Take Fun's on the wrong side of the team right here. He's got to go back.
Oh,
oh, that hook! Oh my gosh, what a nice shot there. Yeah, they don't come down right away. There we go. Big damage comes out. Still chasing. Uzi's got to be a lot careful. Running away from this one will survive. Lantern, of all people to grab it, Makler, the guy who could actually get over walls. And there's a teleport in from Mundo. I don't know if it's going to do anything for them, though. He's going to look for it, though. But they're opting in.
Doesn't have his ultimate.
But they're opting into a 4v5. This is an interesting choice right here. Babunia does not land the briefcase. Take Fun, though. He's getting collapsed on. Jukes and grabs the lantern. They're going to be out. That's the 5-minute teleport burn for Babunia.
They didn't actually get Uzi in that. And now all the backs are coming out. They're going to try to wrestle Baron control. Doesn't hit anything. Doesn't get the vision of it. They don't know the HP on this. And the ward is... His sight stone's empty.
Well, they're going to go for the play. The hook onto Babunia. He does have ulti. He pops it. A lot of regen coming in. He will survive the culling, but his health bar will only get up to maybe half to 2/3. It's going to force Denial to run away. They force a team in on Baron, but nothing really gained for that one. 6,000 gold lead for Lublin Shore now, keeping their moves towards this mid lane tier 2. They've actually got the inside track. This is going to be another turret picked up for them unless something really weird happens.
Kuban ended up TPing into that so he could apply pressure once again as full HP after getting the Banshee's Veil. And now, to be able to siege this tier 2 turret, they're just getting tier 2s handed to them now because of the way that they're playing, and now that they've swapped the aggression on with their team composition that excels in team fights over Denial currently.
They are playing excellently. Now all Lublin Shore needs to do is recall back, get their sight stones charged back up, and then just control the map right here. Kuban's actually bit off more than he can chew right here. He's going to flash the wall. Who can chase? Kassadin can. Nice jump there to the Wraith camp. Aggroes it, puts a ward down, and Q's over. Great play on that one.
Love how he got
looking away
with it.
Absolutely.
And now Makler.
Be careful. Libic's going to put the box down. They will stay safe. Permson wants to go into this one, but he gets kicked into the team. Great move by Kikis there. The flash to make it happen. 1 kill picked up. 2-man shock over the backline, though. 1 for 1 so far. Babunia still tank. He's going to run away for this one, though. Lucian puts some damage onto Kobe. They're going to back off now in the 4v4. Looks like Lublin Shore, though, still wants to chase. Kuban has the way in. He's going to go in. Does not go for the stun on this one, though. Once again, just backing off the 1 for 1.
And Lublin Shore, like I said, they excel in the team fights right now. Dragon is up in 10 seconds. They're going to go for that. Look at that. Makler ended up getting stunned there. He ends up getting out. But here's the big thing is Libic gets out. Kikis goes in, kicks Perm into the team. They instantaneously blow him up, and the ball is positioned outside. Hits 3, but Kobe just doesn't eat the dissonance damage afterwards.
Yeah.
And then they just peel back and disengage it.
And now Lublin Shore get Dragon off that fight, and finally they get to recall after picking up, I think, 2 turrets, a number of kills plus Dragon. Big items come through. Giant's Belt for Kikis there, plus a Chained Vest, so Randuin's coming soon. A whole lot for these guys, and again, the charged up sight stone's a pretty big deal. So now, Lublin Shore, where do your wards go?
All over. Enemy jungle.
Yeah.
Just push up, especially on the bottom side. Like right now, Baron is up, so you want to ward it, but at the same time, you need control if you're going to continue to push. So right now, you're like, do we bait them into a Baron, or do we push bottom tier 2? Well, you can do both if you have teleport. You can bait the Baron and then have Kuban go ahead and off to the side. Because at this point in the game, he can actually deal with Babunia. He has magic resistance in the Banshee's Veil, so he's actually able to go toe-to-toe with him. He'll have to run away and wait out the ultimate, but then once he gets to that point, he can come back in, and Mundo will most likely be higher HP, so he can Equilibrium Strike.
True.
Try to trip him up.
All right, we'll take Fun. Gonna grab his blue buff there.
So despite Perm being new to the mid lane, he's done exceptionally well this game. It's just that when the late game started to happen, the fact that Makler and Libic have been doing so well, and you talked about them in the pregame, how they've been together for so long, and their synergy really shows. The fact that they've been moving all around the map, Libic has been making the plays for his team, and Mockler hasn't died, hasn't put himself in bad positions.
You know, speaking of making plays, actually, I want to actually talk about something.
He's got the IE.
Yeah. So a very auto-attack based build. Interesting. But about the perm point on making plays, what I have found people role swapping is that the laning phase itself isn't the big deficit. Like, you generally can fight against people 1v1.
Sometimes matchups.
And hold up. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't know matchups, right? Like, I mean, obviously, you're not going to be, like, as good as Bjergsen or Faker if you do the mid. Like, I understand that. But the big hit that I see, the big loss, is actually your ability to leave your lane, understanding when to go elsewhere, understanding when, like, where your ward spots are and when you can make plays. And a champ like Kassadin, it's not really the same as old school Kassadin, where it was like, yeah, wait 30 minutes, then win the game automatically because you're Kassadin. It actually does require playmaking. And being 1-2-2, right, a very individualistic team, not great team fighting, but a lot of pick potential and denial. That hasn't been seen from Kassadin. That is what I'm missing from Perm here.
And the big thing here is that Lublin Shore is going to continue to group up at this stage in the game. That pick Kassadin isn't really an option anymore for denial. That was a laning phase tool that they should have been abusing, but weren't able to use because of the lane swaps and the fact they left him on island.
Babunia's got to be careful. That Popsy ulti down to 1/3 HP. Ignite is on as well. Takes the Mikhails. Didn't necessarily need it, but he's going to get his health bar back up to about half HP. You're going to see the trinkets coming down, but it doesn't really matter. Lublin Shore still trying to control the vision over Baron. Can they bait another fight? The ball giving them vision that can't be swept away by a trinket.
Yeah, it also means that Orianna isn't in the Baron pit currently when you see the ball that far up. But the question is, do they need her to do it? The answer is probably no.
Well, here's the attempt right there. Lublin Shore, they're going to start up onto Baron. Nashor down to about 3/4 health bar. And the damage still coming through, but looks like the Nile is around. Baron at half HP, the health bar in the bottom left corner of your screen. But the fight's going to start. Babunia hooked up, no ulti on them. He's going to be going down. Kuban picks the kill up, goes in towards Uzi, 2 for 0 so far. Perm going to jump away with the Rift Walk. Kick is low on health, but they can go back in for Baron now with the jungler dead.
Now no chance of a smite steal. Perm off on the side hasn't hit the level 16 Kassadin power spike, which is so huge for the Rift Walk cooldown and the damage. Instead, they're going to make a move from middle here by Kobe and Super Ace. Instead, they retcon that and just walk away.
All right, so there we go. Baron Nashor picked up for Lublin Shore. 11,000 gold lead for the team. Slow start, but man, did they make good plays throughout the mid game, catching out kills, turning it on finally. We can watch that fight again.
Babunia, his ultimate isn't up just yet. He burned it previously. And now look at that, the flash into the lantern there. Or actually the lantern, just pick up and off to the side there. And the flash to get him even closer in. Just delivers Kuban. Talk about ball delivery system.
Yep.
Thresh delivery system now.
Aurelia delivery system. All the above.
The Thresh Express for Aurelia.
It's awesome. DMX of the DMX of champions. Thresh gonna give it to you. He gonna deliver to you. That's not DMX. Wait, is it DMX? I want to say it is.
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he calls himself X.
I am also an expert in rap. No,
good.
No, I'm not.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, here we go, though. Lublin Shore, though, man, they have grouped up. They've got the Baron buff. Kikis is putting the wards down to make sure that they own this jungle, and they're ready to siege bottom tier 2.
They have the correct positioning on it, Super Ace. Trying to get some coverage for his team, but they have the right positioning here, and the immense amount of damage here from Mockler that he's prioritized. He's just looking to kill turrets and auto-attack in fights, but Kuban, wow, trying to start them fights.
He's going in, hitting up Perm. Stun comes down. He's got to wait for the cooldowns next time around, but level 16 on that Aurelia, 17 on Mockler's Lucian, the highest in the game. And they're going to be ready to siege this one out. Looks like their 5-on-5 is going to be strong. Lucian will slowly but surely put the damage down. Orianna helps zone them out. Kuban takes a stun. Some damage comes out from Karma as well, but shields keep him safe. Babunia taking a bit of punishment as well. He's got to be careful in this one.
And now the wave clear here is actually really good for Lublin Shore between the Lucian and the Orianna. They're able to just get straight back to it.
See a lot of damage still coming through there. Pink ward does get cleared out. Look at that. Lublin Shore really not defending that ward. I'm not sure why they gave Uzi so much deference there, but he is going to have to heal up now down to 1/4 HP. Hook's not going to land there from Libic. They're passive with the siege.
Take Fun's ball positioning is going to be very key right now. They just zoned out Uzi, and I want to watch where he places the ball and where he keeps it, because you basically create dead terrain around the ball that nobody wants to touch.
Well, right now he puts it on
don't touch Kuban.
Well, they touch him with some skill shots, though. Why the heck not? Hook onto Babunia. Big damage comes in. They go for the fight, but the flash is going to keep that Dr. Mundo safe for now. Pops ulti as well. Going to put his health bar back up. Level 15, though, not rank 3 ultimate.
Delivery.
Yeah, Kuban is around. Hook again. They keep finding Mundo. They play him in. They go all in for that one. Shockwave's going to land. Mock's got to be careful in the back line. Zonia's popped, but 2 kills picked up so far. Perm's got to be careful. He's going to go down 3 for nothing so far, and now they can go for the inhibitor turret. The damage is going to come through. That is going to be that.
And they're going to get the inhibitor off of this too. There's 40-second death timers now for 3 members of Denial. And Take Fun, he's going hard. He flashed forward for that. And they're going to surely get at least 1 Nexus turret off of this.
Well, they're waiting for the minion wave about 5 seconds ago till that one's there for them. 25 seconds on any respawns of Lublin Shore. They're playing super defensive right now.
But what's the call? They have Baron still ticking on them. The call is to go straight for Dragon instead of going for a Nexus turret. Don't risk it against Kobe and Super Ace.
Wow.
Are actually down 3 levels on your AD carry.
Yeah, I am surprised by that play, to be completely honest, but they think they can win it the next time around.
Play it safe, play it calculated instead. The fight starts up here. We see Take Fun throw the ball into Kuban, but it's really Libic and Kikis who get in there. The hook.
That would have hit Perm.
Putting the box in there. So Babunia just, they get obliterated by the shockwave there onto 2 members. Now Perm in the middle of the fight has to Zonia's to keep himself alive for a couple extra seconds.
Yeah. And you were talking about the fact that these guys are so far high that the pick of Kassadin no longer gets to do much, right? And yeah, you know, he puts the exhaust down on Mockler. He goes in with as much damage as he possibly can. Wasn't even shut down necessarily, Perm. But Mockler's too big for him at this point, right? Going in by yourself as Kassadin doesn't work. Who even goes in the backline alongside Kassadin? Who else threatens someone, right? You don't... Kassadin no longer one-shots people, right? This is new Kassadin. He does not one-shot you. He reaches the backline and helps out, but does not solo people out. And that's not the Kassadin that Perm's playing, though, is the problem.
Oh, the Lantern back for Libic.
Well, he's got nowhere to go. Oh, he can jump to the ward! He flashed. He could have jumped to that... Actually, if they saw it, he could have jumped to that ward.
It's a little out of vision there, because his teammates had just
Libic
bounced off.
But
actually, no, he would have had it because Repel would give you vision of it.
Yes, true. Libic almost saved the Elise right there.
He ended up flashing the wall, and they pick him up.
Good guy Thresh.
They don't pick
enemies.
him up, though, so he's...
Yeah, he's going to burn the flash, though. Hook's going to come down. Nothing really picked up for this one, though. But there we go. Half HP on the top inhibitor turret. Baron buff has come off the team, but there goes the inhib. Nice jump in by Kikis. Puts another slowdown. Perm's got to be careful. He has to rip walk away from that one. Still takes killing damage, though. And the Aurelio picks up the kill. 2 for 0 so far. They're going to keep on going. Flash in from Mockler, putting a lot of damage down. Babunia forced away as well. Kikis still around in this one. Can't dive the fountain, but they can go for the Nexus turrets. Number 1 going to be going down. Number 2 fired on as well. And game 1, 40 minutes in, Lublin Shore taking it down and bringing game 1. Now, can they win this series? That's the real question.
An amazing performance there by both the top laner and the bottom lane. You see 508 for the top lane and also 100% kill